Umayyad Caliph, Corbota 756 to 1031. The Umayyad Caliph was one of the second four major caliphs established after the death of Muhammad, and they received the most attention for their luxury arts, poetry, and mid-classic music 3rd to 9th century. So we're going to take a look at all these luxury arts throughout the PowerPoint. Early Islamic luxury arts began in the 8th and 9th century. Muslim artisans worked with several different materials, so ivory, metal, copper, wood, and glasswork. So what is luxury arts? It's highly embellishing goods made of precious materials for the caliphate's relatives and wealth class. And this was influenced in other regions such as Egypt and China. Islamic ivory carving. So one of the most well-known early Islamic luxury goods is pyxes. Pyxes is a shaped cylindrical box with a separate lid, and one can place cosmetics, fragrance, jewelry, and inscriptions, either located on the top or on the bottom of a lid. Those inscriptions were meaningful messages to the person who was gifted a pyxes. We're going to take a look at a variety of pyxes and discuss the elements of art, iconography, and inscription meanings in some of the pyxes. This particular pyxis contained fragrant substances, and this also was linked to the writing Cordoba ivories. So the inscriptions is located on the top of the lid, and inscription reads, "The sight that I offer is the fairest of the sights, the still firm beast of a lovely young woman. Beauty has bestowed upon me a robe clad with jewels, so that I am a vessel for musk and ambiguous." This was an interesting pyxis because it contained decorative work of arts. So this pyxis is made out of elephant ivory tusk. So ivory tusk are the massive teeth that extend in an elephant's mouth. Tusk is made out of dentine, hard, dense, and bony tissue. So elephant tusk was common for craftsmanship to create pyxis. Majority of the pyxis were acquired at church or traded when the Christian conquested Spain. So here are two pyxes that we're going to be comparing, contrasting. So with the normal pyxes, the pyxis of Morta was created for use of cosmetics and medical use, and the one on the right side, which is the Egyptian pyxis, was used for just jewelry and fragrance storage and cosmetics as well. So the Egyptian Syrians used tusk figurine animals and lids, but they did not write inscriptions on pyxis. Remember, the Islamic caliphs' pyxes were meant for gifts and to their relatives with blessing inscriptions, and the Syria and Egypt was not meant for that. So we're going to talk about Islamic metalwork. So Muslim metalworkers created a variety of different artworks, basins, jewelry cases, writing boxes, and caskets made out of bronze or brass. So this casket belonged to Sultan al-Nasr Muhammad Ibn the Ninth Bahiri Mughal Sultan of Egypt, who ruled during the three reigns 1293 and 1341. So he was influenced by the Islamic work of art of the Umayyad period. So although this pyxis is not like the Islamic pyxis that has stability, this one can be hung and could be placed in a container. We're going to be talking about the use of copper. So copper is an adaptable metal that can be cast in using a variety of methods. It can be rolled into sheets and hammered into a form. Copper can be combined with other metals to form bronze. So this bronze coin is one of the most well-preserved surviving examples of metalwork. The Umayyads' most surviving examples were metalworks and woodworks of their highest achievements can be considered as like late antiquity art. So this is the Vellore casket of 10th century Constantinople, ivory and bone on wooden core, Victoria and Albert Museum, London. So Vellore casket is made out of walnut, a lumber cut from the trees, and Jogalias genus nut wood is one of the most popular wood used in the early Islamic period, used for caskets and furniture, and its ability to be shaped into curves. So Constantinople was the capital city of Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire right before the Islamic Empire came to exist. The Islamic Empire were in fact influenced by the Byzantine art. As you can see, the ivory carved illustration on the casket horses, angels referenced as Christianity. The Islamic artisans were influenced by their work of art and incorporated to the pyxis as well. So the context in this casket and box and panels. This work of arts were valuable and important in the object itself. It had a significant meaning. The boxes were considered to be like wrapping papers as a form of gifting. So when Caliph Abdu Rabih died in 940, he was sprayed with perfumes by slave girls. So this shows us how scent and textile plays an enormous role in Islamic culture. And this wooden panel is decorated with vintageal art and was one of the artworks that represented the end of the Umayyad Empire into the beginning of the embassy period. Calligraphy is a decorative form of handwriting or handwritten lettering, the art of producing decorative handwriting with a pen or brush and Islamic glassware. Calligraphy was common in early Islamic world, and a goblet is a drinking glass with a stem and a foot found in non-eating or drinking vessels Islamic glass works. So this calligraphy reads drink, a blessing from God to owner of the goblet. Inscriptions of good wishes were common, and indeed was a form of gifting as well. Another form of goblet after Umayyad Empire in the early embassy period was this a goblet. So this particular goblet is the best proof of development of glass making in the Islamic world during the early embassy period. This luster painting glass dated between 136 and 137. So this decorative art in this goblet, especially the rims, portrays the stature of its owner and its supplication of Abda al-Samd. So today we took a look at a variety of luxury artworks. So we looked at a pyx, a form of gifting, caskets to preserve fragrance, and calligraphy inside goblets to bring wonderful messages to caliphates. So we use this in today's world, all these significant giftings. We gift with presents, we preserve with scents and bottles, we use our handwritings to create beautiful messages and letters, and perhaps in text forms today too. So the luxury arts are valuable not for their antiquity but for their interior meanings, and that's what the Islamic wanted the world to know.